With this being the second episode in a row devoted to the big man, you may have gotten the hint that I'm a little obsessed with Master Xehanort. He's just an incredible villain from all perspectives. I mean, he's wily and manipulative and revels in the fruition of his impossibly complex plans. At the same time, he possesses incredible strength, magical abilities, and in any one of his forms he can make short work of his enemy. But after a handful of games, one question remains. Just what in the hell is this old coot's plan? I actually plan on doing something of a retrospective of these games as told by Master Xehanort, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining what little we know of his past and the intense complexity of all his many schemes. Instead, I'd like to discuss what I perceive to be Xehanort's ultimate goal, and the philosophy behind it. And strangely, despite the intricacies of his plans, I think his goal just might be the simplest part of the Kingdom Hearts universe.
It is a curious tale, and one worth exploring.
This heart belongs again to darkness. All worlds begin in darkness, and also end.
Reduced to incredibly simple extremes, Xehanort wants control over the mystical land of Kingdom Hearts. Based on what he knows of the First Great Keyblade War, he believes that whosoever steps into the pure land of Kingdom Hearts will be granted the ability to reshape the worlds to his liking. In short, control over Kingdom Hearts makes you into nothing short of a god. What's so endlessly intriguing to me about Xehanort's goal, though, is that he doesn't want to use this power to completely cover the world in darkness, as we may have been led to believe by every other antagonist in the Kingdom Hearts universe. No, Master Xehanort has said time and time again that going to either extreme, whether light or darkness, is dangerous. The worlds, as he sees it, should be in constant balance with one another. Too much darkness would of course result in the type of catastrophe that nearly brought about the end of the worlds after the Keyblade War, but too much light can be suffocating, authoritarian, and oppressive.
Would you blanket all the worlds in darkness? Reduce them to nothing?
I mentioned Ericus in the last video as being very one-track minded in regard to the light, and I stand by that. His crippling hamartia was that he became a zealot, close-minded to paths other than that of light. This is why I am personally very excited to see more of Ericus, because his character flaw is identical to Riku's, only instead of accepting the darkness and shunning the light as Riku did in the first game, Ericus will have to do the opposite. This shows that in the Kingdom Hearts universe, any extreme is dangerous. So if Xehanort's ultimate goal is simply to balance everything out, why are we so intent on stopping him? I mean, after all, think of all the suffering caused by these imbalances. One need not look any further than Riku's internal struggle through the entirety of the series to see that imbalance is the cause of all problems. Well, this raises two possibilities. One, Xehanort saying this is all in the name of balance is yet another of his many, many ruses, or two, balance, as he understands it, is a negative thing in Kingdom Hearts. And while the former option is entirely plausible considering the type of loon we're dealing with here, I'm going to place my faith in the creator's storytelling abilities and say that it's the latter.
Darkness is a beginning, you see, not an end. At birth, every one of us emerges from darkness into a world of light, do we not?
For Xehanort, living in an imbalanced universe is unacceptable. Xehanort's plan is to literally turn 13 people into himself. In fact, the biggest thing we see him do in Birth by Sleep, the game in which he debuts, is possess another person. Xehanort's idea of balance, it seems to me, is complete and utter homogeneity, with him sitting atop a throne overseeing everything. It's one thing to have a perfectly balanced world, but if it's only balanced because everyone is thinking the same thing and having the same experiences, well, it's not much of a world, is it? We need only look at Sora for the counterbalance to Xehanort's whacked-out way of thinking. Sora is the point at which everything intersects. He is the link to all, and he has brought happiness and peace to people simply by helping them become the best version of themselves. Riku is not Sora. He said himself that he can never be Sora, and that's what makes him special. Roxas, likewise, is not just a part of Sora, he's his own person. Free will, choice, and the freedom to do with your heart as you see fit is what Kingdom Hearts is ultimately about. To strip someone of that choice, as Xehanort has done countless times, that's the most evil thing anyone could do. Let me show you what I think is the most important part of Dream Drop Distance.
What do you mean? There are so many hearts. that are connected to yours. You're me, so you can feel what I felt.
No. Roxas, you're you. We're not the same. I wanted to tell you that. That you deserve as much as I do to be your own person.
Sora, see? That's why it has to be you.
Sora, after realizing the pain and suffering that Roxas and his friends went through at the hands of Xehanort, simply replies by saying,
that you deserve as much as I do to be your own person.
The spin-off games have done an amazing job of turning the ending of the previous games on its head. We thought everything was fine when Roxas and Naminé merged together with Sora and Kairi, but that didn't really solve anything, now did it? The storytellers behind Kingdom Hearts have been building this dichotomy for half a dozen games now, and it'll finally come to fruition in Kingdom Hearts 3. So yes, as much as I'm all about Xehanort and his crazy plans, there's no excusing his ultimate goal as being morally just. Like I said, I'll be doing something of a Kingdom Hearts history as told by Xehanort soon, so stay tuned. Until then, you can find me in the lanes between.